So we've already created a massive game, but welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk, well today it still is the same day, but we're going to talk about distance. So if we add the first person controller, so from athena.prefabs.first-person controller, import everything, then we could just add a first person controller. You don't have to give it a variable, you can if you want. But same down here, you don't have to give this a variable name either, you can just call it cheese. That also works. That's the same with a lot of things. If you want to modify it, that's when you give it a variable. So, but you can just call things like that. Most oftentimes, actually, you will see that instead of parent equals scene, it'll actually be parent equals entity, because then it creates a empty entity class that you can put the parent into. But I never use that. I've never seen the point in using it. It's never affected it edge-wise. But up here, you'll see that we put entity, but this could be anything. It could be audio, it could be an animation, anything it can invoke from. But the main thing you want to use is entity. Titties. So obviously we built all this, went over the functions, but we're going to talk about distance. Now for this we're just going to get rid of most of it up to here. We could say we could make a new variables, function, sorry, update. So this will get called every frame. We could say dist equals distance, and then I believe it's, so in this instance we will need to call the first person control something. So I think it's player then self dot position. Oh, I forgot to pass the self thing with it. So self and then self dot position, and then what you could say is if distance is bigger than or equal to bigger than, less than or equal to 12, print in range. Oh my gosh, in range. Now we'll add some ground, so entity model equals plane, texture equals grass, and then we'll set the scale to 1000 and then the texture scale to 31. The texture scale is the square root of this. So square root and then the square root. It's obviously not 31, it's a much longer number than that, but it's more or less that. So if we start this game, if I did everything right... Oh, I forgot. Yeah, do not have editor camera enabled when you have a first person controller. Forgot to add a collider. Collider equals box. So there you go, it's saying in range. If we get out of range, it'll stop saying it, so we can not do that. So make sure we're absolutely definitely out of range, and then we'll check down here and it's no longer printing that we're in range. You can tell because the blue highlight is not going up. But if we go back in range, which is, well, ideally it should be here. Let's check. Yep, there we go, we're in range. So 12, I don't know how big 12 is, to be fair, but it's obviously a fair distance. But that's how distance works, so you can set the distance from anything. This is helpful with various things, like attacking, so you could say if in range, if distance is less than or equal to 2, then we could say attacking. And then if you've had a health bar set up, we'll go into that next episode if I haven't already done that. You could say player dot health minus equals 7. Obviously we don't have a health bar, so I'm not going to do that. But that's how you use distance from the player to the entity position. quite cool if you ask me, not gonna lie. We'll get rid of this, we don't need this. So that is distance. Quite a very good thing. There are multiple different distances. There's distance and then distance 2D and distance xz. I believe distance xz ignores the y position. I don't know what distance 2D does, and I think distance is just x, y and z. I'm not sure though. You'll have to look at the Athena docs for that to work. But that is that. So also you can up here you could set the self.dist equals nothing, and then we could say self.dist equals that, and then self.dist, and then we go. And then you could have another function, define cheddar, and then, oh, almost forgot, pass self into it. Then we could say if self.distance is bigger than or equal to 4, no, it's bigger than or equal to 2, then we can print not attacking. Obviously you can have this in the update function, but it's just to show you that you can call it from another function as well. So obviously we're in range, and then we get out of range. Apparently it's, you know, not working. I did something wrong, but point is you can do that. I'm not sure why it's not working. It should just work, but yeah, that's how that works. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Toodle.